Assalamu alaikum and welcome to another episode of the Suhoor Bites. We're going towards the end of Ramadan again, and it's always a little nostalgic. I don't know how y'all feel, but to me, this is really sort of the end of the month, and it's always a little bit of sweet. I'll be excited to be able to eat again during the day, and a little sad that I don't get to have iftar and suhoor with y'all. Because the Suhoor Bites have been really fun to do. And this Suhoor Bite is also going to be really fun to do because I have with me Mayar Hamdan, a multimedia storyteller in both games and films, and a little more than just those two. Mayar, welcome.
And other. Hi, hello.
Other things.
Yes, Ramadan Kareem and Eid Mubarak in advance.
Right. Yeah, we're getting to that point.
Yeah, I'm really excited for all the Eid Mubarak posts that get sent on the WhatsApp groups.
Oh,
You know,
oh my God.
like the flowers or like the coffee cup or like the birds and the glitter.
Right.
I'm so
The
excited.
the flowers are actually sort of a joke in the Habibis community. We have a bot that generates a new image with flowers
Oh
every day
my God. That's so
on our Discord. Yeah,
cool.
just it was inspired by our auntie's WhatsApp groups.
Yeah, exactly. I went on a deep
Mhm.
dive of trying to figure out who makes these. Um, maybe a story for another day.
Did you find anything, or does this
I
continue to
found
be a
it.
mystery?
No. I found some. I found a few. I found the apps. I found a few aunts. I found a few moms, and then eventually now I make my own.
Wow.
And the community really looks forward to it. And by the community, I mean my family's WhatsApp group because they forward that.
Right, but you know that like 2 months later, in like a highly messed up version because of all the forwards and screenshots, that one will continue into my WhatsApp
Oh, of
groups.
course. Listen, good morning and Eid Mubarak posts are forever. They're
Yeah,
literally forever.
yeah.
Yeah, and I take my time making them too. Like I find really bad flute instrumental music of Fairuz sometimes.
Mm, mm-mm.
It's really been a joy.
Beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful. Yeah. So this is sort of what you do.
I guess kind of. I guess kind of. I mean, that's what I do in my free time, but I guess that should tell you a lot about what I do.
Right. You tell stories. You both you're a storyteller in many ways. I know you work in games. You work in movies. You work in installations. You also do a lot with colors.
I do. It's this little thing called it's a bad name, but it's fine. It's this little thing called obsessive coloring disorder.
Right.
Um, Not so much a disorder, if I were to say, maybe my superpower. Everything in my life revolves around color. I mean, literally everything. My closet is
Hmm.
color coordinated, my books are color coordinated, my brain is color coordinated. Uh, and my stories, a lot of the times, revolve around. Well, honestly, I know this is going to sound really weird, but when I'm writing stories, the first thing I think of is color.
Yeah,
And then I sort of branch out from that.
I can totally imagine that. I mean, I guess feelings, moments, everything has a color to it, right?
Yeah, exactly. Characters have colors to them. So, like, I'll
Yeah.
think of a color and then I'll think, I wonder what kind of character this color would suit.
Right.
And then from there, boom, bam, bam, story.
Yep. I, I have the same thing with cooking for some reason, where ingredients have like a color to them.
Exactly.
I don't have it with anything else, but I have it with ingredients.
Precisely, exactly. Sometimes it's literally just about like, oh, this is a great combination of colors. I bet they would taste really good.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also sometimes the color of the taste is not the same as the color of the thing.
Yeah, yeah, which is always a fun time. That's the thing about colors.
Right.
They're like it's a spectrum.
It's it's a really I find it a very interesting way. I mean, I know people who have synesthesia where they see colors related to numbers or sounds or anything.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I do. I should probably get tested, but I can tell you that yeah, I can hear music. Actually, maybe I do. I associate, I'm not sure. Um, it's not like I see a color when I hear a sound, but I associate color
Right.
sounds. I don't know how to explain it.
Right. So to your work then, because I mean, obviously, a lot of what you do in work has a lot of color to it, but color is not necessarily the thing you do. You're a storyteller.
I am, yeah. I mean,
And-
color is just a central and integral part of that, color and color
right.
research, but it is first and foremost about the stories. So like even if I were to talk about color, to me, each color tells a story. Um,
Yeah.
and yeah, at the heart of it, it's really about storytelling.
I know this is sort of a boring question in many ways, but can you tell the people listening a little bit about the work that you do?
Sure. I I mean, I make films and I write video games, and I work with video installations. Mostly, I think the themes that I focus on when I'm writing stories, I mean, first and foremost, I am a big believer in people telling their own stories. So like,
Hmm.
if I hear one more person say, give a voice to the voiceless, or if one more person comes to like the Middle East and tries to tell our stories, I might lose it. Um, I'm a big proponent of like telling your own damn story, but
Yeah.
also giving people the tools to tell their own stories.
Yep.
And within that, obviously, being Palestinian, being Arab, my stories usually explore, themes of migration and displacement and feminism because I am a woman.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, that I mean, you have a bunch of work that has sort of been received really well lately. I think
Yeah,
for which congratulations.
thank you. I don't know how to explain it. It's like I'm really excited about it, but I also don't want to be in the limelight.
Right. I can imagine that.
Yeah, but I guess I mean, it's a really good place to be because like it's every storyteller's dream to be able to explain why they told the story that they did or to like use that
Hmm.
as a platform to raise awareness about something much larger than yourself and your story and the award that you just got.
Yeah. Yeah. Why do you tell your stories?
Um, I think storytelling, well, a lot like art. Art, I think, exists to create dialogue
Hmm.
about something, right? Like we look at a painting, I hate it, you love it, but it creates a discussion about something.
Right.
And I think that storytelling functions in the exact same way. Uh,
Right.
it's really, I think the best stories or like the best films or the best games that you like walk away from with like, oh, like it's not like a, oh, what just happened. It's like when I walk away with an experience that's completely different to yours and then we argue about it,
Right.
to me is success.
Yeah. I can imagine that. Yeah. For I've always come at stories as in there's two conversations, right? The conversation that the art the art has with the person consuming the art
Mhm.
or experiencing the art, and then the conversation that happens around that experience. I think they're both like equally valuable and wonderful.
Yeah, I agree.
V- Very different, but just yeah, it's fun to make stuff, isn't it?
It is. I think it's fun. I mean, it is so great to be able to call your job storytelling because
Right.
essentially what that means is you just get to watch people. You just get to observe people. You get to listen to them. You get to hear their stories. And then you get to, you know, fictionalize it and
Yeah.
talk about things from your own lens and from your own experience. And at the heart of it, it's really just about the human experience,
Hmm. Yeah.
which is so chaotic and beautiful. And just it is a chaotic mess, but there's also mundane moments that make up life, and you get to capture all of that with
Yeah.
words and visuals.
How did this? Because like, I'll be really honest. Like most people I know, that when they pick a thing, they pick a thing.
Hmm.
And speaking of chaos, you seem to be all over the place with how you tell your stories. Like, interdisciplinary, multidisciplinary, like every disciplinary. I don't know how to describe you, but
I mean,
you find whatever you can do to tell a story.
exactly. I think for me, again, the best way to describe what I do is the story picks its medium.
Right,
Okay, you have your story, and then based off of what that story is, you can determine would it be best suited for a film? Would it be best suited for a game? So, like the game
right,
that I'm currently working on is a game that explores themes of grief, right?
right,
We could definitely tell that story as a film. I could definitely show it to you as an installation. But, like, if I want to give you autonomy, if I really want to show you the non-linearness of grief, what better way to do that than through a game?
right. Do you ever come across a story that you look at and you're like, I don't know how to tell this story. I don't know the medium for this?
No.
No. What's the
Honestly, no. That's never happened to me before.
what is the wildest sort of medium that you ended up in?
Um, hmm. I thought the wildest medium was AR.
Oh, yeah, that's a strange place to tell a
Oh
story.
yeah, yeah, it is. I thought that that was going to be the wildest medium. Okay, that was definitely the wildest medium, but the funnest medium was children's stories, like children's stories.
Oh, that's awesome.
Those are the best because it's
Yeah,
basically really, really simplified poetry.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah. Oh my gosh.
watching little humans is amazing.
Yeah, it really is.
Uh,
They're the best.
yeah, no, they really are.
It's also just the way they interpret things is so wonderful.
I agree. And also like it's I also like if I were to talk about like my family, I come from a family of storytellers. Maybe they might not be professional storytellers, but like I'm sure a lot of Arabs can relate to this. Um,
Right.
Most Arab
Yeah.
parents are like amazing storytellers.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
oh,
My dad would tell me stories of how he had to walk for like 35 kilometers to get one piece of food when I wouldn't eat my plate.
exactly, there you go. My dad still tells me the story about how he was the top of his class, even though I had seen his report card. He was not the top of his class. I'm like, who are you? Like, who are you trying to kid here?
It's so true.
Yeah,
Arabs are inherently storytellers.
they really are. I mean, also it stems from. I don't want to generalize this to all Arabs, but like I think specifically Muslim Arabs, you grow up reading the Quran, which is truly the most beautiful compilation of stories. They are the
Right.
perfect stories.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's
It's
true.
just part of our upbringing.
Yeah. I also think just like the sort of tradition of like orally communicating stories is much larger. It's a lot more freeform in many ways than in my Western upbringing, where it was always sort of tied to something.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Um,
I agree. But also going
yeah.
back to your earlier question about how I've never come across a story um, that I couldn't find a medium for because oral storytelling also exists. So if I'm able to tell a
Right.
story, it already has a medium.
That you know what? Fair. Fair
Thank you
play.
so much.
Fair play.
I do want points for that. I don't know where you're
Yeah.
getting
No.
those points, but I want them.
I'll make sure to note the points in the description for this
Thank you so
podcast.
much. Mad one, Rami zero.
Yeah. Okay. Fair. Um, speaking of, you mentioned something a little earlier, sort of like the mundane, and that there's beautiful in it. In Suhoor Bites, we tend to ask people about their favorite memories of Ramadan or the culture or being in the culture or near Ramadan.
Hmm.
Do you have a story?
You know, I know this sucks because I'm the storyteller and I'm supposed to be able to tell you a story. But unfortunately, the only thing that's coming to mind is
Mm.
loudness.
Loudness.
Loudness, just loudness. Like Ramadan back home is so loud. There are so many family members around you, and people are yelling because they want to eat, and then the food isn't ready, but some of the food is ready, and everyone's like, Did it addan? Ma addan? Is this thing there? Someone's making a joke somewhere, and it's just so loud. Like,
So loud.
now, for me, I'm here in LA, um, and it's so quiet.
Right.
And
You miss it?
I do. I miss the
Yeah.
chaos. I miss the chaos.
Yep.
I miss the loudness. I think my parents hate the loudness because they have this little ritual where they like take 2 bites and then go walk in the park together, and they've been like doing
Oh.
years. And then they come back and they eat with everybody, but they just leave us in the mess of like
Right.
loudness.
Amazing.
Um,
That is wonderful. Yeah, I think nothing is louder than your parents' voice telling you to get out of bed.
oh my God, nothing is louder than "Did you pray?
Yeah.
Everybody tarawih now." You know what I mean? It's like my aunt becomes like the general, and she's like, "Everybody, masjid
Yeah.
now."
Yep. 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 No, the loudness. Yeah, I've never thought of that, but it is true. Ramadan is sort of like a loud. But I think Arab celebration in general is
So
loud.
loud, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, if I were to say
Uh,
that, it's loudness, and if I were to attach another sensation, it would be smell, right? Like in
yeah.
a house, someone's usually cooking something, and there's a stew running for like hours,
Yep.
and you can just smell it all across your house all day.
Yeah. Yeah. It's true. That was for me in Egypt when I was in Egypt. That was always true because my tita would just she would start on dinner basically right after suhoor,
Exactly.
and it would go all day. Um,
There's
yeah,
really,
she was the queen of her kitchen
yeah,
for sure.
there's really, I promise you, there's like Ramadan has always, and I mean historically, has always been my favorite month of the entire year.
Hmm.
Other than
Hmm.
you get to be incredibly spiritual, you get to really hone in on your relationship, your spiritual relationships. Um,
Yeah.
other than that, it's really just such a beautiful time to come together with your community and with your
Yeah.
family. And it's loud and it's chaotic and it smells all sorts of different ways. You don't sleep, but you also do sleep, and it's just
Right.
and the dreams are so vivid. But like it is such a beautiful and treasured time of the year.
Same for me. Same for me. Truly is. It's almost over.
I know, but it'll be here again next year.
And it'll be so much faster than you can imagine.
I know.
That's always how it goes, right?
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, we can always keep parts of Ramadan with us in our hearts.
Yeah, that's true. It does.
Yeah,
Everything good about it doesn't have to end, but we don't have to go that
I
hard
know.
all year.
At least we can. I mean, here in LA, I'm sure you know this. Fasting is so long.
It really
It's
is.
so long. So like that's one part of it that I'm like, okay.
Yeah. خلاص, enough.
We can do without a 16-hour fasting day.
Yeah.
I'll keep all the good bits, but yeah.
Yep. Yep. Mayar, thank you so much. Thanks so much for being here and for telling your story. Is there anywhere if people want to follow you or see more of your work where people should go?
Yeah, sure. They can follow me on Instagram, and then on Instagram there's links to everything I have ever made.
Nice. Where on Instagram do they find you?
My name is Mayar Hamdan on Instagram.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Mayar, thanks so much.
Thank you.
And
Thank you so much for having me.
no, it was a pleasure. And for everybody listening, I think there will be one more Suhoor bite before this Ramadan is over for me. If not, Eid Mubarak. And otherwise, until then, salam.
Eid Mubarak.